Hi, I'm Alessandro Senator, a biologist and nutritionist. On this channel, you'll find content designed for students, university graduates, and health professionals. Useful tools for exams, certifications, theses, and scientific updates. For each video, you'll find the referenced scientific articles in the description, so you can explore them further if you're interested. Also, since science is constantly evolving, I recommend always checking the date of the video and the articles. And if you come across any updates, feel free to share them in the comments. I'd like this channel to be a space for all professionals in the field, so I'm open to collaborations with other experts. If you'd like to contribute to the growth of this project, feel free to reach out privately. Let me know if there are any topics you'd like to explore in more depth. I hope you find this content helpful. Enjoy the video. Ovarian cycle. Did you know? Your hormones don't just regulate your menstrual cycle. They can also influence your appetite and even your mood. Some studies suggest that progesterone and testosterone may increase appetite and, in some cases, contribute to weight gain, while estrogens may have an inhibitory effect on food intake. These hormonal fluctuations could help explain the changes you may notice in your appetite during different phases of the cycle. But before diving deep into this topic, let's go over some basic concepts you should know. 1. Oocytes and follicle structure. During fetal development, a fixed number of primary oocytes are formed in the ovaries. These are diploid cells, meaning they contain two sets of chromosomes, and they are essentially identical to other cells in the body. They remain arrested in prophase 1 until the onset of puberty. The primary oocyte is located within the follicle, along with other key components. Fecus cells, located in the outer layer. These cells, through an enzyme called cytochrome P450-SCC, whose activity is stimulated by LH, the luteinizing hormone, convert cholesterol into pregnenolone, which is then transformed into androgens, mainly androstenedione. Granulosa cells, found internally, they convert androgens into estrogens, mainly estradiol, via the enzyme aromatase, whose activity is stimulated by FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone. Follicular fluid. All these cells are immersed in it. This environment enables the exchange of nutrients and hormones among the follicular cells. 2. Activation of the hypothalamic pituitary axis. At puberty, the hypothalamic pituitary axis is activated through the secretion of GnRH, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, by the hypothalamus. This initiates the ovarian cycle by stimulating the pituitary to produce FSH and LH. These hormones are essential for resuming meiosis in some primary oocytes and guiding follicular development. Also, keep in mind that once GnRH production starts, it can be turned on or off in response to various signals from the body. 3. Meiosis reactivation. During the cycle, some primary oocytes, stimulated by FSH and LH, complete the first meiotic division. Through this process, the primary oocyte becomes a secondary oocyte, a haploid cell, meaning it has only one set of chromosomes, and a small polar body, a step crucial for fertilization and embryonic development. Now, let's go over the phases of the ovarian cycle, assuming a typical 28-day cycle. 1. Early follicular phase, day 1 to 4. Cycle begins. The first day of menstruation marks the start of this phase. If no embryo implanted during the previous cycle, the hormone-producing follicle, the corpus luteum, which we'll cover later, degenerates, causing estrogen and progesterone levels to drop. This drop removes inhibition on the hypothalamic pituitary axis, prompting the release of GnRH, which in turn stimulates the pituitary to release LH and FSH. These hormones then act on the theca and granulosa cells, initiating the synthesis of androgens and their subsequent conversion into estrogens, primarily estradiol. 2. Late follicular phase, day 5 to 11. Dominant follicle selection. Among the growing follicles, one emerges as dominant, becoming the Graafian follicle, the mature follicle. Granulosa cells, under FSH stimulation, convert androgens from the theca cells into estradiol via aromatase. Rising estradiol levels exert negative feedback on GnRH and FSH secretion, which further favors the maturation of the dominant follicle. 3. Periovulatory phase, day 12 to 15. Hormonal feedback shift. When estradiol levels reach a high and sustained peak, the feedback switches from negative to positive, prompting the hypothalamus to release more GnRH. This surge causes a sharp increase in LH, which triggers the completion of meiosis I, converting the primary oocyte into a secondary oocyte, along with the formation of a polar body. The LH peak also leads to follicle rupture and the release of the secondary oocyte. This marks the period of peak fertility. 4. Luteal phase, day 16 to 28. Corpus luteum formation. After ovulation, the emptied follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, which primarily secretes progesterone and, to a lesser extent, estrogens. These hormones prepare the endometrium to become receptive for a potential embryo implantation. Progesterone exerts negative feedback on the hypothalamic pituitary axis, reducing GnRH, FSH, and LH levels. If fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum degenerates, leading to a hormonal crash and the start of a new menstrual cycle. In summary, the ovarian cycle is a complex symphony of hormonal interactions that not only regulate fertility, but can also impact appetite and mood. If this journey through the ovarian cycle intrigued you, subscribe to the channel for more insights and new videos exploring the fascinating world of human physiology.